Do you want another one-sheet wonder in metric with non-American paper? International friends, here's another one especially for you, but American friends, this cute paper is still available stateside. This is the Paper Rose Hey Gnomie collection. Paper Rose is an Australian-based company, and this paper is printed in Australia, but their collections are also available in the US at scrapbook.com and Simon Says Stamp. But hopefully you can find these outside of the US since it's a non-US company, or if you're finding that you can get A5 paper, you can take this sketch that I'm sharing today and use it for whatever A5 paper you can find in your country. So this is A5 One Sheet Wonder for A6 cards, number 2. I'm going to make A6 cards. A6 and A2 size cards are very similar. They're not too different, and this A5 paper is also very similar to 6x8. So if you want to try to use that to help you a bit, if you are seeing my 6x8 templates, my one sheet wonders over on my blog, and I have a bunch of those, you might be able to easily still adapt them to an A5 paper. You'll just have to change the measurements slightly. However, I did want to create some where you didn't have to do that. Most of my one sheet wonders, if you can get your hands on 6x6 paper, they'll still work with A6 size cards. And I know a lot of people outside of the US still make A2 or they make 5x7, and I share how to do 5x7. But this is just meant for directly if you just to work purely in non-American standard sizing. And so that's the cards that I'm using and the paper that I'm using. But if you are in America, you can still use this. This still works out. And all the measurements are in centimeters. So when you go to the blog and you download the template, that's how it's going to be instead. And I have a little bit of an issue with trying to follow my own template just because my paper trimmer only has centimeters in about 1/3 of the way down of its big 12x12 surface, which is not very helpful when you're cutting teeny tiny pieces of paper. However, a ruler does a trick. Or my Altenew mat that I'm working on, and I'm always working on, the other side is all in metric measurements. And so I could probably use that and a straight edge to help me cut them a bit better. But I'm assuming if you're looking for metric templates, you're not having this problem because you have a metric paper trimmer or one with better metric measurements than mine at the very least. I am choosing to back all of my pattern paper on some navy cardstock. One, because I'm obsessed with navy, just like I used to be obsessed with craft, and probably will go back to that. But I just kind of get in these kicks where there's a particular color. For a while it was craft, now it seems to be navy, but I will say I'm seeing in some of the newer papers that were released for Valentine's Day, and this is generally a Valentine's Day pack, but has plenty of non-Valentine stuff. Navy blue seems to be in this year, and that makes me happy because I'm a big fan of navy blue. But I did have a hard time sourcing good cardstock in navy blue. I like to not have to spend $1 a sheet on cardstock. And so this is the thinner 65-pound weight from Michaels. Now, I mentioned that just because I know that getting the higher quality cardstock can be that much more difficult and expensive outside of the US. And I think that when you're doing something like where I am here and I'm just layering it, the 65-pound weight totally does fine. There's no need, but I just don't like having both available in my craft room, so I just generally just use the thicker stuff because I can get it at a good price. And that way when I do my die cutting, I have the thicker stuff and I'm not okay, which is my die cutting cardstock, which is my layering cardstock, etc. Anyway, something that I love about this pattern paper collection, and I see more in collections that come from companies outside of the US, is that it includes sentiments and it includes little images that you can fussy cut apart. American paper tends to come with little cut aparts, little tags or little journaling cards that you can cut apart, and those are great too, and I like that. But I liked all the little gnomes so that I didn't have to have a coordinating stamp set and I could just fussy cut them out. I did not try to cut those with my scan and cut. I just cut them out with scissors because I thought that might be easier. I do find things, especially that are this sort of watercolor look where they don't have the clear black edges, can be a little bit difficult to cut in the scan and cut, but I have been able to do it. I just never can seem to get every single image from a sheet cut perfectly. And so if you're okay sacrificing a few in order to save the time of not fussy cutting, or you don't like fussy cutting, or you have arthritis, or whatever, it makes it difficult, then the Scan and Cut will do that. And I have done that with like the P13 paper pads, which are that's another great company that is available outside the US. So you might look into them. They do have the 6x6 size. And I got a paper collection from the UK that also is in the 6x6 size. So you can totally use those templates as well. If you found this video inspiring, here's another video where you can find more ideas for enjoying your crafty time and supplies. Let me know you like this video with a share to your crafty community, subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss the next template or tutorial, and check the video description for product links. See you in the next video.